Do you know this guy? This is Jeff Bezos, the founder and the former CEO of Amazon, the multi-billion e-commerce platform in America. So, back in the 1990s, when the internet was very young, Bezos approached the leading bookshops in America. The giants, those that were respected, established, and were trusted, those that had everything. So Bezos tells them the future of selling books is online. At that time, they thought the idea was absurd. They didn't believe him. They looked at their big stores and they said, people have coming here. The internet, that's just for hobbies. So they were comfortable with the bricks and mortar method they used for selling their books. But while they were renting books by hand, Bezos was building systems. And while they were waiting for customers to walk into their stores, Bezos was reaching customers everywhere in the world. The small bookstore owners and publishers embraced the idea. Their revenues tripled for the subsequent years that followed. And slowly, the tiny online bookstore, now Amazon, overtook the giants. Not because it had more staff, not experience, it's because it had better tools. And this pattern keeps repeating itself. For instance, Kodak invented the digital camera, but ignored it and it disappeared. Nokia dominated the world, the phone world, but ignored the smartphones. Then it fell behind. Banks dismissed mobile money until M-Pesa transformed how an entire nation does their transaction. History rewards those who adapt and forgets those who don't. Hi, my name is Ephraim Kabwe, the founder and creator of Elimu Smart, Kenya's most comprehensive school management system. Now, you might be wondering, what does all that story have to do with schools in Kenya? Well, everything. Hear me out. Right now, our schools are standing exactly where those bookshops once stood. The brick and mortar methods of handling school processes, records, and information. We are still relying on paperwork and manual processes from decades ago. For example, calculating students' balances becomes really tedious, and the accounting nightmare that comes from tracking and processing fee payments, well, you know about it. It's just like those companies. Schools that adopt better tools today will lead tomorrow. And that's why we at Elimu Smart build a system that helps school transition digitally away from the tedious paperwork. I will now tell you all about Elimu Smart, because this is where education meets innovation, and Elimu Smart aims to transform the education sector through innovative technologies. So what challenges does Elimu Smart try to solve? The first and the most obvious one is the mountains of paperwork that eats into teaching time. And then student records are always scattered across multiple registers. And then the manual fee collection that always creates accounting nightmares. And also, there is always never a quick way to access student or staff information. And then also, exam processing usually takes weeks. It should be taking days. And then when parents constantly calling for updates on their children, teachers need to have the information of the children at their hand at any moment's notice. So we also have lost student files and documentation. A school cannot give a track record of the performance of a student while they were in the school. That is something that is also challenging. And then the costs, well, hours wasted on daily administrative tasks instead of focusing on the quality of education. Elimu Smart is one system that gives you complete control. So Elimu Smart is Kenya's most comprehensive school management solution. It is designed specifically for our school's needs. So what makes us different? It is built for the Kenyan curriculum and education system. It works with existing processes. For example, let me show you an example here. So if a parent once brings a student into a school, some of the direct process of that is you give a parent the registration form. So if you come over here, we can print the student registration form. So when we print this form, the parent will be able to fill in these details with pen and paper. And after filling these details, on the student's management page, the teacher will use the add new section to add the information about the new student. Other processes that are easily represented by this system is like, for example, printing the fee structure. For example, having the teacher's registration. Okay, you can be able to have the teachers registration form. So if you want to print the student checklist, we can have that. If you have to print the teaching staff checklist, we can. So all the processes in the school are quite thought of in the system. So, and then we also offer affordable pricing for schools of all sizes, and we also offer full training support in both English and Kiswahili, because also the Elimu Smart team is Kenyan. Elimu Smart is a complete student management system. With Elimu Smart, you get a comprehensive student management capabilities. You're able to see everything about every student instantly. So the system has digital student profiles that allows you to store and see photos, and then it allows you to see the personal details of each student, the academic information, and also the guardian contacts, so that you can be able to, the teacher or the administration can be able to contact the guardians of the student at any moment notice. So let me give you an example. So over here on the dashboard, I can be able to see student profiles. So if, for example, I want to see Joy McKenna, I can come and see Joy McKenna. I can see all the details about Joy McKenna. So Joy, her middle name is Moby and her last name is McKenna. I can see her date of birth. I can see when she enrolled the school. So I can know this student, how long has this student been in the school. And so I can also have the guardian details over here, so that I can contact the parent at any time, any moment's notice. When you talk about the academic information, so when you come here to academics, I can be able to find details about any student. For example, if I want to have information about JOSPAT or the academic performance history of JOSPAT, I can be able to have them collected in one place, so that we can be able to have a discussion with the parent based on real data. And then so admission is also made easy. The system automatically gives admission numbers to each student, and also there's a digital registration form, just as I showed you over here. We come to the students, and an admin student gives you a form, and then every student is given an admission number automatically, which is really helpful. So we also have smart tracking. We can monitor student status. Over here, I can come and if I come on the students page, I can be able to see the status of each student. So I can be able to monitor if the student active, inactive, or has the student graduated from the school. So these are things that I can be able to show or indicate in the system. So there's also a quick search. So over here, if I come over here, I can be able to search any student. If a parent comes to the school and says they are the parent of JOSPAT, and maybe we don't know which class JOSPAT in, so I can come in and type in JOSPAT. And as I tap, you can see that the search is in real time, just like Google search. So over here, when you come, I can see that JOSPAT, I can see all the grade that JOSPAT has been, even the progression. JOSPAT currently is in grade 3. The latest grade that the student is in grade 3 South. So this is really helpful. For example, if I want to get the student of grade 3 South, I can get all the students of grade 3 South. So if I want to get the student of grade 3 South during the term of 2025, and I want to see the students who are there in term 1, so I can see the students who are there in grade 3 class grade 3 South during term 1 in the year of during the year of 2025. So you are able to filter the records of students at any moment's notice. And the real benefits of this, so what took 30 minutes, it now takes 30 seconds. Elimu Smart also has perfected the staff management. With Elimu Smart, you get a well thought out staff management and collaborative capabilities. You can manage your entire team effortlessly. So for the teaching staff management, we have complete teacher's profile, which shows qualification. We can be able to track the subjects taught and the classes assigned, and the TSC number and the employment details of the teachers. We also get the performance and the attendance records. So if I come over here, I can be able to get the teaching staff attendance form. So if I print this form, I can be able to see the attendance of the teachers in every term, which is something really powerful. And then after that, if you come to the teaching staff, you can also see I can be able to filter all the teachers who teach in grade 3. I can be able to see if I wanted to see all the teachers who teach creative activities, there is none. Okay, we can go. Let's say all the teachers who teach English. I can see all the teachers who teach English, and it's well laid out in the system. And I can be able to go even to a specific teacher. If I wanted to see teacher Mrs. Catherine, I can come over here and I can see Mrs. Catherine Wangari Karaoke. And even I can add an image. I can come and add an image for Mrs. Catherine Wangari Karaoke, and that's how I have added an image for Mrs. Catherine Wangari, and I can save the information. The system is that intuitive for you to find any information that you want. So, and also, if you come to the non-teaching staff management, there's also support for teaching staff registration and management. We can also assign roles that the non-teaching staff have. For example, if the non-teaching staff is in the kitchen staff, you can place them in the kitchen staff. If the non-teaching staff is in the security, under the security departments, they have their own. You can manage them, you can be able to assign the roles, and the results, you have everything about anyone in one place. When it comes to the financial management, Elimu Smart does this really well. So it's time to take control of your school finances. We have automated fee structure. So let me show you the bit about Elimu Smart when it comes to fee management. So over the overview, the first page to learn on this, you can see we are able to print the fee structure. And this, using this section, you can have the fee structure in a PDF format, which you can download the PDF and send the PDFs to each parent separately. Really helpful and really smart. And I can decide how many number of copies I want. So if I have the number of students in grade 3, I can print the number depending on the number of copies. And since each teacher or each staff in the school has their own dashboard, a class teacher or even a teacher can print this fee structure and go and share it with the members of the school or someone outside or a parent, so that parents can be able to get a clear oversight of what they're supposed to be paying for. And also, it also shows the printing date of the fee structure, so that any changes that you make, you can be able to follow up based on the changes on the print date. So if I come on the fee management, you can be able to see that the fee management is well thought of. You have be able to see the grade-based fees, how much you want to charge for each grade, depending on the term depending on the term. You also have extra charges that the school will want to charge, for example, any trip or graduation fee, homework book fee, those sorts of things. And so the system automatically calculates the amount paid for the current term. So the system automatically knows the term that you are in, because you indicate when the term is starting and when it is ending. And depending on those things, it does a calculation of the amount of money that has been paid by the parents. And also it shows the expected pay that you're supposed to the total expected pay that you're supposed to be collecting this term. And that is because we have the invoice. The system has a well thought out invoice management system, and also a transaction collection system, whereby we're able to collect transaction from the parents and be able to reconcile them with the bank transaction, which is really powerful. And so when you come to the grade-based fees over here, we can be able to change any information over here. So if I come to PP2, I can see that in PP2, I may want to change, let's say, the fees of the term 3. I want it to be 6,500. And now if I close the database and I refresh the page, you can see that the primary fees for the term 3 has automatically changed. It's now 6,500. And the same result is reflected in the fee structure, in the printable fee structure in real time. So we also you can have multiple payment methods. The parents can pay by cash. Parents can pay through your M-Pesa account or through your your chosen bank accounts, and all of them can be tracked. So let me show you an example. On the fee management page, when you come to the transaction management, over here you can see that we are able to indicate if the payment that was made by M-Pesa, or the payment that was made to the M-Pesa pay bill account, or it was made to the Equity Bank, or it was made to the cooperative, or any other method. So really useful. And then we have smart invoicing. When we come to the Elimu Smart system, when we come to the invoice management, the invoice dictates what the student is to be charged for the next term. So if you come and add an invoice, so let's say, for example, I would like to create an invoice for Mr. Kimani Keriamiti, and the system automatically checks if the student has a balance. So if I come and I select a student called Lillian, for example, or someone who has been in the system for a long time, if I come and select Lillian, you can see that the system automatically checks the balance of the student. And when it checks the balance of the student, it's easier to carry forward the balances of the student. So if I selected Ayub, Mr. Ayub, you can see Ayub has an excess. So Ayub has an excess. So the system is also able to track if the student has an excess or has a balance. Quite interesting, eh? So over here I selected Ayub in Juguna Cairo. So I can be able to specify which school year. If I said grade 3, the system will put 8,000, because the 8,000 in term 1, in term 1 in grade 3, the grade base fee is 8,000. If I come here and I change for the grade 3 and I change it to term 2, the system automatically selects the value of the term 2. Smart invoicing. Okay, so there's no error, minimal errors. For the grade 3, I can come and select the class of the student, the grade 3 North, and I can come and add the extra charges that I may want to charge the student. Maybe it's the admission fee. Let's be creative. So let's say the examination fee, the activity fee, and then we can talk about the T the tea, maybe the student may want tea, and also the fun day. And the other charges totals are calculated separately. And then so over here you can see we have the grade. We have the grade-based fees. We have the extra charges that the student is to be charged, and then we have the balance that has been calculated over here. So as you can see, the total of 9,000 and 3,400 is supposed to be 12,000, but because the student had an excess, the system is able to recognize that and is able to calculate the total expected pay of the student. And then the total expected pay, we have the first installment due date, second installment due date, and the third installment due date, all calculated very well. Okay, so the parents may know which date they're supposed to pay what at a certain and what amount they're supposed to be paying, which gives it easier for the parents to pay at their comfortability. They can be able to save this information, and the invoice is saved automatically. And they can continue adding the invoice for the student as I go on, and they can be able to see that this from Mr. Ayub. I can be able to see all the details of the student of Ayub, the invoice for the Ayub for the term 1 2026. I can be able and come for the invoice for Ayub, and I can export as a letter. I can have it as a letter, and this is a letter that I can print it and provide it to the and give it to the parent, and the parent will get all the information. We also have balance tracking. In the fee management system, we also can be able to track the fee balances. So when the parents makes a transaction and it is confirmed by the system and reconciled by the school clerk, the reconciled transactions are the ones that are used to perform the calculations, so that no error can occur. Over here, we're able to get the fee balances of the student based, and able to filter based on the school year, the grade, and the class, and the term, and we're able to specify the term. So if I want the students for 2026 term 1 grade 3, I can be able to get all the students for those students. I can be able to see the balances that they have, and if I can export I can export as letters, or I can export as a list. And if I have them as a list over here, I can contact the parents and have a conversation with them about their fee balances. And for every transaction that they make, they share the information with the class teacher. So class teachers can be following, in the case of following the fee payments. The system also offers the flexibility of having all the reports in one place, so we're able to see all the charges that you may wanted to charge, and you're able to see the other charges as a yearly revenue for each item. You're able to see also the other charges termly revenue. You're able to see also based on the grade, and also to process the reports of the expected total pay, so that you can be able to compare them the amount that you had collected. So with this, you get the peace of mind, and there's no more missing of payments or accounting errors, and every shilling is usually accounted for. The system has also multi-user access and security capabilities. So for the smart user management system, multiple simultaneous users, the teachers, the admin staff, bazaars, all of them can work at the same time on different computers, and none of them will conflict the data. I know. And then it's also role-based access control. Each user only sees what they need to see. The administrators get full system access, all reports, all data. Class teachers and the head of departments, they see their classes, and they see the students, and they see the exam results, and they can and also enroll students to the exams. For the teachers, they will not be able to see as much. For the teachers, it's not that they're not given so much capabilities, because you don't expect a teacher to have the capabilities of a school clerk, or to see the records, to see the balances if they're not involved in any way. And then they also get a personalized dashboard. When each user logs in to their own dashboard, they get their customized interface. So let me show you, for example, if I come on the dashboard, as you can see, this is the administration dashboard. This is the one for the head teacher, for the school clerk, for the deputy head teacher. This is the one that the administration uses. It has all the information about the school, and they can have all this information at their fingertips at any moment's notice. So if I come and I log out, and I came in and I logged in as a teacher, if I log in as a teacher, you may be able to see that the teacher's dashboard is customized. So every teacher has their own dashboard. So this is the teacher's dashboard, and they're limited by the functionalities that they may need to have. For example, they can only get access to the academic records, but they cannot enroll a student to the academics. But they can add an information over here. if they want to register the exam entry of a student on a certain subject, they can come to the exam entry. And if the teacher is teaching mathematical activities in PP1, they can come over here and edit any information over here. It's quite very intuitive and very easy. And then for the teaching staff, they're limited to see only who teaches who and in which class, and they're limited to export only the checklist of the teachers that they may want. For the students, they can view the student details, but they cannot change any information. This is what I'm calling role-based system. So if I decided to log in as a class teacher or the head of department, if I decide to log in as the head teacher or a head of department, you will see that I will get up a different dashboard from the teachers and the administration. For the students, I can be able to do more than a teacher. For the teaching staff, I can be able to do more than a teacher. For the academics, I can be able to do more. I can be able now to enroll a student, because now it's a class teacher. So these are roles that can be given to class teachers. And then for the fee management, we can be able now to, a teacher can be able to input the transactions that have been made by the parents. And class teachers can be able to come and add transactions over here, but they cannot be able to reconcile the transaction. That is something for the administration. They can be able to see students' balances, and also if they can also choose to send the balance messages. So, and also they can also have the ability to add a transaction, but they cannot be able to confirm a transaction. Really too intuitive. The teachers also have the capabilities of searching any transaction that has been made or been recorded, so that they can have a conversation. A conversation can be there between the class teacher and the parent. The conversation about the fee payment and all that. The stress of the conversation can be shifted from the school clerk and be given to the class teachers, which is something really powerful. So there's activity tracking. So over here on the fee transaction, if at any teacher, if any person changed any information over here, for example, if the amount that was paid over here and I came and changed it to 7,000, the amount that was paid and the transaction was confirmed, and this transaction, and maybe the person who changed this record is not the class teacher. So if they decide to do that malicious act, and you'll see immediately the system will register the person who lastly updated this record was who? Mr. Ephraim Kamau, who is me. So the system is able to show who made certain changes in the system. And this is really helpful, because we can put tracking locations in very many areas of the system so that we can avoid errors in the system as people continue using the system. And then, since for the data protection, sensitive information such as salaries, financial reports, confidential student records are protected from unauthorized access. So a teacher cannot have access to specific details. A head teacher cannot have, the head of department or the class teacher cannot have access to specific capabilities. You can see that has been modeled inside the system. It's not geared towards one person using it. It's geared toward multiple people in the school, or the collaborative capabilities of parents and teachers working together. And then real world examples for use cases like this. For example, if a maths teacher logs in, they will be able to see the classes that they teach. They'll be able to see the classes that they teach, and they'll be able to enter the records, the mathematical records for the class that they teach. If the bazaar logs in, he is able to see the financial dashboard report. They're able to see the fee collection, and they may not have access to the exam marks. If the principal logs in, they will see everything, and they will have a complete oversight of the whole school. So as you can see, Elimu Smart has a powerful dashboard, and it has very beautiful reports, and all school data is at your fingertips. The benefit of this is that the school administration and teachers, everybody is able to make informed decisions with real-time data. So why would your school choose Elimu Smart? Elimu Smart is a complete solution. With the Elimu Smart, you're able to manage students, staffs, academics, finances, all in one system. And then it is user-friendly. You have a clean interface. It is easy to learn. And then it has also very intuitive navigation. And then it is also secured. It is password protected for each person. And we have user roles. Everybody has the user roles are well defined. And then backup is automatic every week. And then it is fast, yes, because it is built on top of Microsoft Access, which is very reliable and is very good for speeds. And also it is customizable. The system adapts to your school unique needs. For example, the logo, for example, the name. You may want certain reports. Those capabilities are customizable. And then local support. You don't need a team from America to come over here to fix issues for you. I am the developer of Elimu Smart, so I am a Kenyan. So the Elimu Smart team is in Kenya, and we understand the challenges that the schools go through. Elimu Smart is also affordable. We have flexible payment plans for every school budget. So who benefits? Elimu Smart empowers everyone. We have the school administrators. They have less paperwork and they have more strategic time for planning. They have more time for planning. And then we have instant access to any information that they need, and then they make data-driven decisions. For the parents, they get a faster service when visiting school, for example, fee balances, transaction and all that, and then accurate fee statements. And then there is better communication between parents and teachers. And then for the teachers, they get quick access to class list and student details. And then teachers are able to process results faster. And then more time is dedicated to teaching than processing exam results. And then the school clerk and the bazaars, they provide the accurate financial tracking. And then we have automated invoicing, and then we have clear payment records. So how does the implementation timeline look like when you as a school decide to choose Elimu Smart to be installed in your school? So the step one, between the first 5 days or the first week, or between day 1 and day 5, we perform system installation on your school computers, and then we have all the school computers operating on the same network. And then we have the initial data migration, whereby we collect data, we collaborate with the class teachers to collect data in a school, and we input all that data in the system. And then we customize to your needs. Step 2, from day 5 to day 15, it's training. We have hands-on trainings on staff, and we make sure that we don't affect the teaching time of teachers. Each teacher, during their break time, we sit down with each teacher and they are taught how to use the system. And then the user manuals are provided, and then practice lessons are always there. And then the whole system goes live, and every teacher knows what to do with the system. And we stay with you during the launch, and immediate support is usually available. And then there will be regular check-ins, and then there'll be step 4, there'll be ongoing support. When we talk about the ongoing support, Elimu Smart gives schools the capability. We continue to upgrade the system free until version 4, because version 4 it will be a different technology. All this is in the development timeline of Elimu Smart. About the pricing, Elimu Smart is licensed to school under an agreed contract with a one-time purchase. So pricing is heavily determined by the number of students in the school. So in the case of 20 to 100 students, we usually charge around 30,000. In the case of 100 to 200 students, we charge 50,000. In the case of 200 students and above, we charge 60,000 to 100,000. So quite flexible. So are you ready to get started? Are you ready to transform your school? So today, schedule a free personalized demo. See Elimu Smart in action with your data and ask any questions. And then this week, we will provide a detailed proposal. We'll review the packages option that you may want and plan the implementation timeline in your school. And then maybe next month, your school will be running on Elimu Smart. The staff will be trained and confident in enjoying the benefits of Elimu Smart. So thank you for giving me your time and for choosing Elimu Smart to power your school.